All right, let's just jump right into it. Today, we are breaking down a fascinating concept from our source material, the actual mechanical reality of how the wealthy manage to make money literally while they are sleeping. Okay, I want you to picture this for a second. It's, say, 3:17 in the morning. The city outside your window is completely dead. Streets are totally empty, office buildings are pitch black, and pretty much everyone is fast asleep. But somewhere out there in the world, in that exact quiet moment, someone's bank account is just ticking up. It's growing. We're going to strip away all those flashy myths about getting rich and look at the actual source material to see how this quiet, behind-the-scenes wealth generation really works. Now, spoiler alerts, they are absolutely not making money at 3 a.m. because they're chugging coffee and working overtime. Not at all. They're making money because, probably years ago, they built a financial system that simply does not sleep. We're talking about investments steadily growing, businesses processing sales across completely different time zones, rental properties quietly raking in income, stocks paying out dividends, and digital products selling to people they will literally never even meet. It's a completely different way to exist financially. When you put these two lifestyles side by side, the contrast is honestly pretty wild. On one hand, you've got millions of incredibly hardworking people who drag themselves out of bed before sunrise every single day. You know the drill. They commute, they grind it out for 8, maybe 12 hours, come home totally wiped out, and then do the whole shebang again the next day. And yet so many of them never actually hit true financial freedom. On the flip side, you have the asset owner. They're resting peacefully, but their global sales and investments, those are pulling an all-nighter. So, you really have to ask yourself, what actually separates these two realities? Based on the material we're unpacking today, it is not raw intelligence. And it's definitely not just dumb luck either. Sure, being born into wealth gives some folks a head start, no doubt about it. But for a lot of self-made individuals, it really boils down to one fundamental mechanical difference in how they think about earning. For the vast majority of us, the blueprint was handed down right in childhood. It's that classic traditional path. Study your heart out, get the good grades, land a nice, secure job, stash away some savings, and just kind of hope you can retire one day. And look, let's be totally fair here. There's a lot of nobility in honest, hard work. It builds discipline, it puts food on the table, and it keeps society running. But, well, here is the uncomfortable truth that the data really shines a light on when it comes to active income. Earning a solid salary might make life comfortable, sure, but it rarely makes you financially free. Why is that? Because a salary is just so vulnerable. It is directly chained to your time. You are literally trading your hours, your energy, and let's face it, sometimes your health, just to get a paycheck. And the terrifying part is, the second you stop working, that money almost always stops right along with you. Which brings us to the massive, fatal flaw in that traditional path. It's the ultimate bottleneck, the number 24. Think about it. No matter how much you life hack your routine or how relentlessly you hustle, you are capped at 24 hours in a day. That's it. Eventually, you are either going to run out of hours to sell or you're just going to completely burn out and run out of energy. You simply cannot outwork time. The wealthy figured this out super early on. They realized that trading time for money mathematically guarantees you are going to hit an income ceiling. It is literally impossible to scale your wealth indefinitely if it completely relies on your physical presence and the hours you're awake. This whole idea is perfectly captured by Warren Buffett's famous rule. He said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." Now, I know that sounds a little dramatic at first, but mechanically speaking, it's just a cold, hard fact. To break out of that 24-hour trap, wealthy folks do something entirely different. Instead of trying to sell more of their hours, they buy and build assets. Assets that just keep churning out income way after the heavy lifting is done. So what's the solution? The sources point to building an asset ecosystem. Basically, instead of betting everything on one fragile paycheck from a single boss, you build a diverse web. We're talking stocks, businesses, real estate, index funds, maybe some digital assets. Each one of those pieces is quietly generating cash in the background. Whether you're at a desk, fast asleep, traveling the world, or just hanging out with your kids, the money just keeps flowing. It completely changes the game. Money stops being this thing you frantically chase and becomes a tool that actually works alongside you. Now, let's be totally clear. This is definitely not some magic get-rich-quick scheme. Actually, scratch that, it's way more like farming. The sources make this great comparison to a farmer's harvest. A farmer doesn't just toss some seeds in the dirt and expect a massive crop the very next morning, right? It is a highly methodical process. You have to prepare the land, plant the seeds, constantly water them, protect them from the elements, and, this is the hardest part, you have to wait. For months, it looks like literally nothing is happening up above the ground. But beneath the surface, those roots are compounding. They're digging deeper and getting stronger every single day. The sad truth is, most people just abandon the system way before the harvest because we are so wired for instant gratification. But real, lasting wealth generation demands patience. You have to let those long-term systems mature. Becoming financially free is never really about overnight success. It is all about making smart, calculated decisions and repeating them consistently for years. Once you truly wrap your head around this mechanic, everything changes. You stop asking that old, exhausting question, how can I earn more money? Because we all know that just leads to working more hours. Instead, you start asking a totally different, massively powerful question. How can I build assets that make money for me even while I'm sleeping? The very second you start looking for answers to that, you step right off the traditional treadmill and you start building a system that never sleeps. So what's the first asset you're going to build? Think about it. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.